Hi everyone, welcome back to Feral Lurker. So this reading is going to be quite an insightful reading based on the spiritual path that you are walking right now. We're going to discover, unveil all about the death of the old you that is taking place, shedding of layers, what awakens after this transformation within you. So, for this reading, we are going to be unfolding specific particular questions in different piles. We're going to dive into the soul level metamorphosis you're going through. We're going to see what new energy paradigm you're entering into, what patterns you're releasing, and what initiation is taking place, followed by the guidelines. So, this is going to be all about the rebirth transition, the purge that is taking place, and what lies ahead in the path. So we have three piles from the left to right. Pause if you need a little longer, pick the one which calls your name the most, and I'm going to begin with pile number one. Hello, pile number one. If you chose the Cosmic Womb card, this will be your reading on what awakens after this transformation. So we have the Cosmic Womb, divine feminine energy. Divine feminine is all about receiving, allowing. It's also related with pleasure, attracting. This is more of an energy where you attract things rather than constantly keep working towards it. So I am also seeing the card of toxic masculinity, restraining, controlling, indifferent, avoidant. So you are becoming, yeah, we have the card of inner work. So you are bridging the gap between your true self by healing your inner child. Of course, there is a lot of I'm seeing crying, of course, with the purge that you're going through. There was almost like this fear of losing out on things. I'm picking up on the 12th house energy, so that is also strongly Pisces, which is subconscious mind, which is hidden fears, getting closer to spirituality, your own self. This could also indicate certain past life karmic patterns or things that are coming up. So it seems like what you're dealing with is not just of this lifetime. It seems like something you've been working upon since maybe a previous lifetime. I don't know how far that goes or how back that goes, this type of inner work that you're doing, but it definitely seems like something that has been taking place for at least, since your last incarnation. I'm picking up on Aquarius energy now, so this could be that you are naturally someone that likes to do things for other people. You're quite a bit of, the philanthropist or humanitarian person over here. You're also quite futuristic. You have certain goals, or you can imagine, or you're visionary. You think about things in that way where you want to make the world a better place, not just for yourself, but for other people as well. And there's a level of pretentiousness, or perhaps abiding to the norm, in a sense that steals or alters your personality to a more soluble form of what you understand or spirituality. So this can also be that you are someone that is of course an old soul and very very versatile at your own spiritual nature. And I'm hearing the body, the costume that you've taken incarnation in, is also playing a very significant role in the type of um, challenges you're facing. And it's not just about the strength that it provides, but I feel like there's something about your uh, physical suit that makes you perhaps deal with also body dysmorphia. There is something about the way you look that you've also been dealing with at this time. I'm seeing the pouch belly of a woman. Also, we have the womb area. There's almost like this very strong conditioning that you're dealing with when it comes to your looks. I think that you are learning how to accept yourself for exactly who you are. There is something that I'm picking up about, excuse me, why did I do that? There's something that I'm picking up about the mother figure over here. This is also related with fourth house. This is like a sense of belongingness. Perhaps you roam around with this feeling of like, I feel misunderstood and I don't understand why I don't get along with most people. It's not a matter of, I feel it's not a matter of introvert or extrovert. I just think it's a feeling that, I want to bring out the best of me. But it's something that I know that exists out there, but I'm just not able to bring it in front of other people. And that's because of the egoic layering that you've been going through, that you've formed since childhood, and that's what you've been going through, shedding layers. I'm seeing the Eight of Pentacles. You've been working really hard on yourself. You've been doing very good work. Again, Piscean energy is that whatever you're understanding about your own subconscious mind, it's like you're taking up clues in the ways that you talk, the way you walk, the way you show up in front of other people. You're looking at yourself as a case study. You're looking at yourself as someone that perhaps needs to be fixed. You're looking at someone, the healer in you is in an overdrive. Pile number one, I feel like you need to slow down a bit because I get a sense that it's definitely working. I'm going to say that, this way of being, Neptune, Jupiter, Piscean energy is very strong over here. You don't have to be Pisces. It's just signifying the traits of Pisces, and what it really signifies. Neptune energy is like with the Aquarius futuristic energy, you seem like in a rush to get where you want to be, because maybe you want to, you know, reach that lifestyle of success, or perhaps what you know that you can have contentment. But the healer in you, there are parts to you, the shadow, the healer, the physical self, the spiritual self. There are so many sides to you, right? The healer in you somewhere feels worn out. It's struggling with your reality because it seems like you've given it too much to do in one go, like you're looking at yourself as a project that needs to be fixed. Cosmic womb, divine feminine is the energy that is coming over here to break this solidified, uh, very ambitious quality that you have, to break this illusion of, or remove this fast forward button in terms of healing. I think you may not realize that the reason why you struggle and you fall sick so often is not because you're unhealed, but because you push yourself too much to heal. So it's like there's a natural process and then there's a very self critical process. And this question, or this part of the reading might really trigger you because you don't exactly want to hear, or you might have very strong perfectionist tendencies, and this is something that you have inherited from your patriarchal lineage. Basically, this is all about, we avoid the amount of work we've already done on ourselves and we keep pushing forward. So this is also a feeling of like, I'm never enough. Like, you want to feel like there's absolutely nothing wrong and you're worthy of love, but the whole gimmick of this situation is that it wasn't actually about fixing it and then feeling like we're worthy of love. It's actually about, we have all of these scars and perceived notions of problems and insecurities and inadequacies that we perceive, um, that still makes us complete and imperfect is good enough. So, what you're battling with is not exactly. We have vileness, electricity, and reverse. What you're battling with is this feeling of never being good enough. At the end of the day, it's not about just this healing, and I feel like that's where you exhaust yourself. That's what I'm really feeling over here. That's where the whole process of physical illnesses comes in. For most of you, you are not in a 9 to 5, and there's a reason for that. Most of you, there is a comfort that life has given you and gives you, especially when you're going through these moments of upheaval, so that you can focus on what you're supposed to really do. You are light workers. Aquarius, thank you, Spirit. So this confirms what I've been feeling. I want to read a pointer. Also be rational and not get caught in emotional drama, ethnicities and races, standing all alone, mastering the new. So again, yeah, future and taking a challenge. It seems, this is Uranus and Saturn. It seems like you have a high pain tolerance, elasticity. You also have spiritual elasticity. You are a very intelligent person. But I'm afraid if this type of intelligence, so like, genius quality that you have can turn you into a bit of a crazy person if it's not grounded into reality. Again, Piscean energy struggles with reality. So that's what I'm really feeling over here. That you are someone that doesn't necessarily know how to stop. And this is where we're gonna talk about the purge, that we're going through over here. We have the Two of Wands. This is a feeling of constantly searching for more. This stands for Martian energy, Two of Wands. This is Aries. Mars is conquering energy. Martian energy is very strong, and I can see how it is prominently placed in your chart as well. It's like someone who just wants to keep conquering things in life but forgets that who they are right now is also good enough. There's a sense of like collecting accolades or accomplishments or achievements, and um if it's like a person, it doesn't matter whether you're a man or a woman, you have a very masculine trait to you. So it's like, if it's about love, yeah, see Ace of Cups. It's like, I want more in them, I want more in them, pull that out of them, pull that out of them. It's like you are someone that's yourself a bit, um you're a bit psychotic about your personal growth, which is not, what's the word, it's not an insult on your progress. It's definitely showing you a different part of your life, which is something that you have to learn to be okay by just having it within yourself, and perhaps not another person. Or even if you, I'm not saying that there's not another person out there who cannot give you that or be like you, or match that compatibility level that they also want to achieve. I almost wonder if that type of a person might put you off a bit, because it can be challenging. Usually there's a yin and yang, so you might be better suited with a person that's actually a bit more slow and patient and like Taurian energy, or like a bit more free flowing, Libra energy, someone that has both sides within them. I also feel like this is not exactly about the partner, but like accepting that this is your own trait, and the more that you accept that within yourself and don't feel um diminished because of having that, or feel it's like this is your strongest what's the word, your strongest point of your personality. It's like your strongest trait, and it's somewhere the most discriminated part of you as well. It's a bit complex what I'm picking up, so if it doesn't resonate with you, just let it be. It's probably not for you. I i feel like you have, just this sense of like, I want to keep pushing through. You're very ambitious, but you also demean this ambitious part of yourself, and then you try to look for other people who are also like that, and maybe they're not like you, and especially in terms of like having this um great tenacity or strength for pain and struggle, and especially psychological growth, which is the eighth house. This is all about, and it's again somewhere streamlines with the 12th house as well, because that peeps into your subconscious mind. So but there's a very strong past life influence where you feel maybe misunderstood, and you just don't feel like people get you, but maybe that's just your own unique quality of self improvement. There's like quite a lot of streamlines merging into this reading. You can pick up on Scorpio, you can pick up on Virgo, Pisces, Aries, Taurus. So if your sign is not here, don't worry. It just seems like something that is just your own, and I feel like what you're purging in, what is in the transition phase, both together, is just embracing how much of a loud person you are. Yeah, and I just saw a loud person you are. It's like your brain is very swift. It's very, very swift. Even though you show up in a very divine feminine energy, you maybe have very sensual and soft traits to you, but this is or physical appearance, kind of things that look very, very soft, like whether you're a man or a woman. But I just had to take a breather because I feel like I was eating up on my words. This is your energy. When I tap into it, it's not rude, but it's definitely very, 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 very progressive. You're a very fast learner. Like whatever you put your mind to, that's one of your traits. And you could also be a shapeshifter. I mean, not even could be, you are a shapeshifter, because the amount of signs, zodiac signs that I'm picking up and warping into one another, and it's like they're mixing with one another. It seems like they're highlighting the word make amends, like making amends. You are making amends with parts of yourself that you felt like should be dumbed down, dimmed out or something like that. Like there were parts of you that you were made felt that they should just be dumbed down because they're uncomfortable, or they make other people feel inadequate, which is such a funny thing, because it's like it was internalized as something that's wrong within you. And maybe it's possible that your caretakers made you feel like that, your parents or people around you, that because you were quite intuitive, artistic, and different. You were definitely different and philosophical, and you were very good at a lot of things. But it's like, I think that your parents didn't know how to appreciate or nurture a child that maybe has very different qualities. So it was kind of like shunning away. Like, I don't know, you seem like too much. You're too emotionally sensitive. You're too driven. You're too curious for me. I don't have the answers for what you're asking me. So it kind of seems like your parents did the best that they could have. But I also feel like it's possible that your parents have a sense of like guilt, because now you're this person, especially if you're 20 above, in the bracket of like 21 to 32. I'm picking up, they're seeing that you're a different person. You're not like the rest, and you're quite emotionally mature, and you stand up against the authority, you stand up for the underdog and things like that. But I think that when you were younger, your parents had a feeling of, is it that difficult to raise a child? Like, there's something about you that's quite extraordinary. So it made it quite difficult because you feel very deeply. So if you're hurt, you're going to express the full extent of it. And I feel like you may or may not have realized that when you were younger, you'd literally like say certain things back to them which would make them question their own authority on your life, and their parenting skills and something like that. I feel like your parents have a lot of guilt, maybe thinking of themselves as a bad parent. um it's like you are a very, very intense personality, something that's on a soul level, so they were not equipped to handle a child like you. However, make no mistake, you chose them. It's not a mistake that you were born to them. I think especially your father figure, he felt quite inadequate, whether you're a boy or a girl to him, a son or a daughter. We have Earth in reverse, the home in reverse. I also feel like there is some trauma that comes from the father figure, because he felt quite like it's possible that he sees, of course he sees himself in you, but he sees a very adaptive nature in you. Like the Earth in reverse, the home, is also again like the paradox of you being so fluid and flexible, and the way in which you challenge your psychological evolution and growth also comes with a feeling that I don't have a place to belong, or I'm constantly moving forward, or you're constantly having to face this fear of abandonment, because for change you have to be able to confront different parts of you, um, which may or may not have been attached to other people, right? So there's quite a lot, and I think that you dealing and healing with your masculine energy is actually bringing you more in your feminine, right? Because you want to control everything, and I feel like I've named quite a few things that you're probably dealing with, and for some of you, it might be all of those things and more on top of that. Oh, protection, finding what's important. So now I'm picking up on these colors of heart chakra. And I think now we're stepping more into the path ahead and what's taking place as purging, right? So, what I described as the four particulars: rebirth, transition, purge, and path ahead. I cannot put them in compartmentalized boxes, right? Because life and universe's way of elevating us is very seamless. You don't realize when you've stepped into from one column of it to another. So this is a part of what's purging and then what's taking place as well. And I think that you are definitely dealing with a very intimate process of death and rebirth and power, and it's definitely bringing you closer to who you are at the end of the day. This might be bringing a lot of like sexual energy. You could be finding yourself feeling very, very frisky, because um for some of you it's quite possible. For most of you, I'm hearing this is a kundalini awakening, the serpent over there. So it's like a gush of energy is coming up for you. This is a major awakening for a lot of you. And if you haven't felt that, trust me, you will. I think if you haven't felt that energy as of now, it just means this is the beginning of your process. um I think that what's to come next is quite a lot of career changes. Like if you've been dealing with something that you don't like, whether it's in the same workspace or changing your profession, whatever it is, something is going to obviously change because you're changing. It's not going to be the same. And I want you to know from spirits and that life is so meticulously placed, altered, and balanced in a way that looks like it challenges you, but it actually aids your spiritual path. So, if you notice, things seem to get a bit easier, or people become a bit more cordial when you're going through these lows of your life, because at a psychological level, your intuition, your guides are actually helping these people to not step on your toes when you're, for some of you, you actually go through a lot of suicidal thoughts. You become very, very, very down in the dumps. And even though you have this Aquarian energy, it's like spirit still knows, because Pisces, they're very emotional. They're water signs, they're like cute little babies. They just want to be babied all the time. And I think when you go through these phases, you're just like, again, in the incubation phase, you're like somebody that spirit has to, it's like there are spirit guides that have to really monitor your growth process and how you're feeling, especially at night when you're purging, because they feel like it's a slippery slope. The amount of, mental caliber that you hold is something that needs to be monitored, because if it's not, and I think that this piece of information is being given to you to recognize that you have a very, very, very sharp mind, which, if not taken in the right manner, that's why I said it's like a bit of a psychotic level of intelligence that you can grasp. There's like a thin line between a genius turning into a villain. That's where their villain story starts, because they get too hurt and they don't know how to alchemize that. So I believe that a part of this lifetime's what you call purpose is to maybe deal with such high levels of emotional intelligence that you don't step into the thin line. It's just like a little bit of a like it's just like a little bit of a step aside, and then you don't know when you started going to the other side of, like, either it's like genius or like being psychotic villain. I think that it's just about the pain that you're carrying. It's I'm hearing smooth sailing waters. So something about it does feel like till the time you're stable enough, they have to be quite on guard with you, your spirit guides, because it's a slippery process. I think for somebody, there's also this feeling that spirit keeps telling you during these times, don't post some sort of stories or like sharing quotes. Sometimes you get too down in the dumps and then you find it cringe yourself. It's like, your emotions really do get the best of you. And that's why electricity is in the reverse, because this process, when your emotions are so heightened, and again, Pisces is all over your reading, Neptune and Jupiter. You want to grow, you want to be emotionally seen. But a lot of people, I don't think they actually think about life, in the way that you do. And that's a bane and a boon, because um, that's where you end up feeling more misunderstood, because you're showing parts of you that not a lot of people actually even get to experience. Do you get my point? So that's exactly what I am seeing. The path ahead lies in every detail that I've described in this reading, especially when it comes to understanding that you are different and there's not a lot of people that are going to be like you. It doesn't mean you're not going to find your people. They're going to have different strengths of their own. But it's to understand that there are not a lot of people like you. But the ones you're going to find are going to be absolutely rare. They're going to be worth the wait. So this is also the card of protection, finding what's important. This is the path and the initiation of you meeting the right people for yourself. Also getting a grasp over these intense emotions that don't drive you into, psychologically attacking yourself, because again, you have a very sharp mind, which, if not nurtured in the right manner, can definitely turn against you. That's what I'm trying to explain over here, right? So this is what I have for you, pile number one. I'm going to leave this reading here. I hope this was helpful. If it was, please do hit the like button, subscribe for more, hit the bell icon so you know whenever I upload next. Let me know down in the comment section how that resonated. Information for personal readings is given down below, and I am going to see you guys in another one. Bye-bye. Hello, pile number two. If you chose the card of many masks, the authentic self, this will be a reading. So this is a very spiritually evolved pile. If I had to use a word to describe, you're already quite awakened. You are quite in grasp with what's going on in your life, and I get a message that let's take this reading more as a confirmation and facilitating information rather than what is actually based off in your uh, what is actually happening in your journey. I also feel like when you watch this reading, of course, I think you already know that, but I just feel like mentioning it, that take whatever really resonates with you. Don't try to make a message purposely fit in when it's actually not, okay? Because I might say things that don't resonate at all with you. it can cause unnecessary havoc in your mind, is what I'm hearing. Because right now, the state that I'm finding you is in a lot of self doubt. Okay, this is, I'm picking up a Piscean energy. We have also Scorpio, so this is eighth house. Deep, 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 deep transformation. This is somewhere between like an awakening, but also like dark night of the soul. I could conclude it as like something that's very, deep inside. And eighth house and 12th house synergy. I'm hearing synergy. It's not just one thing you're dealing with. It's a lot of things you're balancing. You're not able to do your day-to-day things. You feel like your job and your work life and your love life and everything is like suffering, but right now, and I feel like I say this with a lot of compassion, but I feel like the only person that suffers is you. um you are a multitasking person, you are a multitasker, you are a very big support system for a lot of people in your life. You're a rock, you're the mommy and the daddy of your group, like you're everything, you give everything uh, to whoever you can. um but I think that this very deep change that is taking place is of course at a cellular level. You are tapping into generational patterns right now. I'm picking up on 10th house, which is the father. It's also about your career, your purpose more often. This is strong Capricorn energy. This is about your goals. You are very realistic, but I think that spirit is diverting you more towards a Piscean, Aquarius energy. Because you lost touch with the mysticism of life for the longest time, few months or years. You lost, because I'm picking up on Saturn now. This is like you'd gone through, and again with 10th house and Saturn, purpose is very common. And Capricorn, with the ambitious energy that we have, hardworking and realism, it sucked the fun out of your life. I think that's what. And for a lot of you, you haven't been in a relationship in a really long time, is also what I'm picking up, or you just broke up. Mm. So even with the Aquarius energy, Uranus and Saturn, Uranus as a push and pull, and the awakening energies, and suddenly this comes in our lives and it separates us from what we've been um, partaking in, and it teaches us with Saturn, very strong karmic lessons, things that were really written down at this point. We're gonna go through this. So it seems like things were a bit, something was a bit stationary. Like if it was progress, if it was pain or something like that, you know what I mean? It was a bit stationary or consistent, like it was flowing. Suddenly, I feel like an upheaval has taken place in your life. Maybe it's like you felt like bad karma or bad things kept on happening to you, or good things. But I think that you're still in the phase where you're picking yourself up in terms of what has actually happened. Um, there is not much that I can, I don't know. I feel this energy that you are your own healer, right? You are your own therapist. Um, there's not, even though I am oscillating between this energy of you knowing what's going on, but also doing my job in terms of giving you more information. Does that make sense? I'm oscillating between the presence of your energy, knowing what it's doing in life, but I'm also like, okay, so I'm supposed to be here. Does that make sense? It's not undermining my work, but it's the presence that I feel like you have a very intimidating presence, perhaps, because it's kind of making me, your energy probably makes people second guess what they're really doing. So we have incoming text call information guidance. Yeah, you already have an understanding of what's going on. It's possible that you are seeking this reading for entertainment purposes or just like any information you can grasp upon, because you have a very humble, you are like a very solid person to fall back upon in a lot of people's lives, because the groundwork that you do, it's like you've been doing a lot of inner work on your root chakra, and that's why things have been very difficult for you for a few years, or I don't know, I'm hearing for somebody like my life has just been difficult. It's because you're doing groundwork. It's because you're doing work at a cellular level, divine feminine energy, healing work, energy work, divination tools, and whatever you like to call it. All of these things come very natural to you. It's like, they're for some of you, yeah, I got interrupted with a message. For some of you, there's been this feeling of constantly needing external validation for the work that you do. Maybe it's like I'm a great, so example, your ego, or let's not even say ego, okay? The dichotomy of this is very real. It's like I just feel like, I want to be recognized for the amount of work and phenomenal groundwork I've been doing. But somewhere that dilutes your self-worth and understanding of yourself, because in terms of recognition or seeking recognition, it dilutes your talent or your gift. Does that make sense? It's in a shape where it's in a way that I'm saying that your need to seek validation from other people makes your work, it hinders your ability to show up in your full strength, because it's still looking at other people like, give me permission or give me the credentials that I need to unleash myself. Does that make sense? It's like, that's why I feel like we have many masks. It was like building up to what is it that you're actually dealing at a very, I get it, you're healing a lot of traumas. I don't think we're going to label a lot of those. They are definitely related with the root chakra. This is your stability, your childhood, and so it does make me feel like, okay, we established the base level of it. We're not going to go maybe too much into details, but again, this is, related with the 10th house. This could literally be related with your father figure and his authoritative presence in your life, or the lack thereof, of him being around. So I feel like this time around, is any what this initiation is, what's that word, powering you through. Yes, it's like a power through. It's a very deep one, so it means the deeper you're going, the higher you're going to bounce back in some level. Your energy is like a small, imagine, okay, just imagine, let your mind wander. Imagine there is a ground, okay, there's like a lot of soil. I put this seed in, there's like a small plant that came out. Some natural calamity took place, like a tornado or heavy rains, but I'm saying like tornado, okay? Let's not go into the technicalities of it. It's like that plant gets really, really mushed up inside the soil. It's almost not visible anymore. That's you. You feel like there is no proof of the amount of work that you've been doing, and that's why you're seeking that validation, because of course it's a part of your nature. It's not something that I'm ridiculing. But the thing is that when that tornado came in and displaced you so much, and it's like I'm feeling like that tornado came like 5-6 times at different times in your life. It's indicating daddy Saturn. It's indicating the amount of karma, that karmic healing you've been going through. It pushed you inside the soil, not outside. So you were hoping for yourself to bloom. But the thing is that it pushed you inside to develop deep, deep deep roots. I'm saying that if this was just where you are, it's like widespread. Your roots go everywhere. And now that plant is only visible with two or three leaves on the surface level. It's ultimately like an iceberg effect in a way. It's nature explaining itself. Like, you have absolutely no idea what a rock or what I've made of you. It's like nature is literally telling you in this moment with whatever way it can. And I'm literally feeling like quite the upsurge of energy, because this is the person that is adaptive as heck. Like, this is a person, this is a person that is, this is Gemini, mercurial energy. This is like zoop, 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 zoop. It's gonna move around really fast, and it's gonna go around in cycles again and again. And it's your grit that I feel like this awakening that you're going through is actually more of self appreciation than breaking you down. This is more like where I start showing you what you really are, more than making you feel like you're still a learner. This is more like I'm shaping you up so that you can see how soluble you are. Does that make sense? The dichotomy of it. It's like I'm shaping you up, but I'm trying to show you how flexible you are, really. Like how much you've really conquered in your life. So it's like it's not visible right now, the amount of work that you've done to other people. That's the thing. It's visible to you. It's being made shown to you how far you've come. And it does highlight your feeling and internalized feeling that I'm not good enough. But the thing is, a part of you that is leading this part knows that you are good enough. So instead of the shadow attribute or the scared inner child leading the pathway, it's the adult version of you that's like, I got you, bro. Like, I got you. Like, now I'm gonna take the lead and you can rest. You don't have to make more decisions based off fear. And now it's you who's like this person who's awakened enough to know that, hey, I can do it. Sacred contract covenant, number 7. It's about time that you start genuinely reaping rewards of what you've sown inside. Okay, it is, I'm gonna tell you, it's not gonna come in the way that you think it's gonna come. The thing is that pile number 2, you're gonna have to really shed layers which hinder your ability to be the creator genuinely. Like, I'm not even exaggerating. If you tap into the depths of the energies that I'm feeling with what you're actually going through, in fact, so to speak, it's like you're gonna really have to feel the mysticism and remove your ego and what seems tangible and realistic to achieve. You're gonna have to remove that to understand at what level changes are taking place inside your DNA, okay? Because I am seeing the physical body adapting to it. So spiritually, this energy already exists within you, right? It's opened itself up. The I think that it's not just the mind, because mind, body, spirit go hand in hand. Even when you're trying to manifest, you have to embody that energy. But if the body is not free, you know how they say that the body keeps score? It's like even when you're training your mind, you're working on purging and crying and all of these things. I feel like what remembers all of these instances of maybe perhaps failure or inadequacy or trauma, and I'm picking up on absolute buttload of trauma, like, which again is not just yours. That's what I'm trying to say. It's generational. That's why your body cries for help the way it does, because the feminine energy, the intuitive wise, the healer, and the authentic self has already made itself known. It needs space to actually show what it is capable of actually making of in its own life. So there's a very big part of your life purpose that is unfolding at this point. You're right where you need to be, because this is something that's written in your dharma. This is not the bad luck karma that you're experiencing. This is a part of the good luck karma, which was written that at this specific time, pile number 2 is actually gonna get to experience all of this. And a lot of it is based off your vibrational manifestations, people, love. And I feel like uh whether you've been in a relationship for a long time or not, does it really matter? It's telling me that for somebody, I'm hearing that you've not been in love in a really long time, and that work of becoming your truest version, again, I keep hearing the word power through. It's like a very, very intense change and transformation that you're going through, that is making you shift into versions of yourself. Like, it's this is not something that's happening, it's, at a little bit of a marinating periodic time. It's like a power through. It's like jumping through timelines. It's like quantum leap in its best version, or description of what it can do. This is like we're doing the work so that we can embody that version of ourselves that can achieve, tick, tick, tick. What I've been wanting, I get it now. So you could have connected with what you really wanted in your life for a really long time. Like, it's years in coming, and you've been doing the work, doing the work, doing the work. And this is that pile that explains, like, okay, what it's overnight success doesn't really exist, but it exists after years of work. Like, people like to see every person's success, but they don't really get to see the amount of hard work they've put into it. I also feel like before this reality starts forming, there are people specifically that have been eradicated from your life because they are no longer the right people for you. These were hidden, jealous, insecure, backstabbing people, perhaps even feminine energies that were not good for you. Excuse me, I'm burping. It's like you've not had the stomach to digest that these people are actually that spiteful towards you, you know. Balance, Libra. So you're coming to a decision, and this is the karmic scale, right? Libra is the karmic scale. Things are balancing out for you. So you best believe that the universe is revealing and cherry picking, or what's that word? Hand picking people out of your life that are no longer on your level. Basically, that's what they really want to show you, that these people no longer, they will not support. They are people that, these are the type of people that will pretend to go along with you and love your success because they can see some sort of benefit for themselves. And that's why spirit had to remove these people, because the universe can see your heart. The universe is your creator. It created your heart. Let's say that, right? So universe knows what's in your heart, and it seems like this path, again, Mercury energy, Virgo, Gemini, it's like you're gonna meet better people, and for some of you there's this energy of like speaking up more. I'm seeing somebody stand up on a stage and talk about things and explain perhaps spiritual phenomena or whatever it is. For some of you, you're in the art business. Now, I really don't know how does that get, how does that diversify, but something about art over here. And art exists in so many forms, and it's also a way of being, King of Pentacles in reverse. This is again with the root. I said that you are healing at the base level right now. This is not where I'm going to say that the seeds are being planted. This is a bit in, this is, I guess I'm going to say this is very close to reaping the rewards of it. Like, you planted the seed a few years ago, and now it's, very close to bearing fruits, or almost like fruits that are ready to just drop off. This is the symbolicism of the reality coming into, it's matching up with what you've been wanting, the reality actually making itself known. It's Materializing. Thank you, Spirit. It's materializing. Your desires are going to begin to materialize. Now, we don't know when that happens, but for Spirit, I'm hearing in less than 6 months. This happens. Like things start coming into your life because you have had the courage and the understanding more often to let go people please things and versions of you that just don't match up with what you've been wanting. There is also an increase of self respect, removal of codependency because you're learning to let go of people that don't deserve you anymore. So you're cutting out parts of yourself that created codependency in the first place. We have past, present, and future in reverse. For some of you, where you struggled, and I feel like this is still something that you struggle with, is maybe fully disengaging with that version of you that once maybe brought you a lot of pain, the decisions you made, maybe perhaps in ways of shame or disgust that, oh, I used to be so cringe. I think that you may be judging yourself and learning how to have compassion for that version of you that actually got you through. It's like looking down upon that version of you that was in survival mode. Does that make sense? It's almost like this way of disassociating from who you used to be because you're not that person anymore. I feel like this phase is also making you own up to where you come from instead of hiding away from where you came from. It's like full integration of where you've been, how life has been for you, and not having shame for it is what I'm almost gonna say. It's quite the journey that you've had. This is not someone who's starting off their journey. This is someone who has committed themselves to their self discovery, and it seems like this is no longer a trend, something that's trending these days, self love, boundaries, and things like that. I think you did this because you knew this was your path. This was about full expansion, fully embracing who you are at the end of the movement and speed. I'm telling you that things are about to come into your life. For some of you, I don't know if you have like disbelief in what I say. You've been watching a lot of readings because I have the card of giving up, and I personally have been through these moments where I'm just like, just like let it be. I don't want anything. I just want peace in my life. It's possible that the paradox of you giving up on it and not needing it anymore is exactly the reason why it's bringing it in. For that's any consolation, you can watch the whole reading that I have today to realize that no three piles are the same, and if you chose this in the first go, it means definitely that something is coming in fruition for you. And if that makes you really happy and it starts making you care about things, well, maybe that's what the universe wanted you to do. um I don't think that there's a lot that they're trying to convince you that this is going to happen. They're just probably trying to console you a little bit and tell you like, hey, we didn't do this because we wanted you to prove yourself to us that you deserve this. We wanted you to see that you deserve this. This is actually quite groundbreaking, because it's like we think that we need to show the universe that we're deserving of it, but it's actually inside of us. The universe is not exactly outside of us as we perceive it to be. Outside is some tangible form of the matrix. And then they say that you have to separate yourself from the matrix, but the philosophy behind matrix, or the concept, is somewhere that the matrix exists with the inside of you, just like the divinity does, right? So that's why they say that it all ends and begins with us. And now that the fact that you somewhere don't feel like proving yourself is because you know that you deserve it, it's going to create and manifest as your reality. So the desires that I am understanding through this energy is that the desires that you had were obviously placed in your heart as um, a seed planted, which kept on giving you a way, a light at the end of the tunnel to proceed towards it's like what you've been told or what you desired so truly and deeply were things that your future self already had. It's that saying that what if you want it so bad because a version of you already has it in the future. And I feel like that version of you is already here. I'm talking to that version. I feel like some of you were still in quite a lot of disbelief. The King of Wands, this is the energy of Mars, Leo. This is the energy of attraction. This is the energy that I've done everything I could have done. I gave way too much. I invested a lot of myself in the King of Pentacles. You're coming into this energy of attracting your desires, attracting it towards you instead of running behind it and over investing in it. It's like maybe you also had to do the work in terms of workaholism. This could actually be a lot about your career, if that's what you've been worried about, or your life purpose at the very least. And this is all related to 10th house, career, profession, your reputation, validation, life goals, life purpose, legacy, authoritative energy, fame, success, certain things that you really wanted for yourself to tell you, like, hey, look at me, I'm worthy of these things. It's like an approval, societal approval. It's like you craved, you begged, you chased, you cry, you cribbed so much for it to the universe that once you just stopped craving, it's here because the universe wanted you to feel like you're worthy of it instead of it being the other way around, that we give this and now you feel like you know you're worthy of it. Queen of Pentacles in reverse. This is the energy of, I generally feel like energy, if we're not actually talking about just money, because Pentacle is over here, it can definitely indicate money is energy. So leaking energy or over investing energy or feeling like money doesn't stay, perhaps having to work upon scarcity mindset. Like, it's like maybe it's about poor spending habits, or it's about like overly saving it and not investing in yourself. But this kind of seems like the energy not being able to stay with you. It's something that's leaking. It's like in the mindset, it's not balanced, feeling confused, how much should I give and how much should I get back. So this is, I think, what was the main crux of it. And a lot of it came from your nervous system feeling safe in a specific environment. So what the nervous system is used to is what the mind is going to create. If the feeling of abundance feels unsafe or feels uncommon to us because we've lived in scarcity, it's going to create that situation that it's always wanted in order to feel safe. Your nervous system doesn't care about the facts and the better option. Your nervous system cares about feeling safe. That's when somebody is like deeply traumatized, they're gonna go into a freeze or a fawn mode. So I see that this is a lot about the body remembers, the body keeps score. So a body feels safe even if it's like scarcity or abundance, it doesn't matter. Body is going to reside with what it knows to be its original state of being. And that's why such groundwork really shakes us up, because the body needs a bit of a shake up. The soul has already known what it's going to have and what it's going to conquer in life. It's about the physical essence of it. That's why we can't exactly separate the body and the mind and the soul. And yours seems quite a lot about the body. It could also actually talk about perhaps body dysmorphia or feelings of things that really bother you inside about your physical appearance and your insecurities, and considering, I don't know what not, surgeries or belittling yourself, or being hyper fixated in front of the mirror in your reflection, looking at your reflection and picking at it, like, this is not good, this is not good, I'm gonna go and do this, or I'm gonna drink more green juices and this and that. It's like, instead of making the body feel safe that it's doing good enough, you criticize it so much that it actually reverts back to its original state where it doesn't feel safe anymore. So it's like, you feel stressful about your weight, so you follow all sorts of these diets, but maybe what your body actually needs is to feel a bit just safer so that it can drop down the cortisol level and it cannot be bloated or fat. And or maybe if you're someone, trigger warning, gone through sexual abuse, or just feels unsafe in their body, the body needs to feel safer so that it can drop back the weight and feel its beautiful self in some shape or form. I'm not saying that being thin or reducing weight is the only state of being beautiful. but the body does hold on to a lot of fat to protect you. There's also one thing that I see coming is that you may generally just lose a lot of weight because the body doesn't feel unsafe any longer. It's like it keeps on weight to protect itself. And also, when you're going through such heavy cycles, the body needs it to, just a little bit of cushioning. It needs a little bit of cushioning. It doesn't have to do with anything physical, it just requires to keep that weight around to make itself feel safe. So that's what I was really picking up, all in all, in terms of where this is taking you. I think the path ahead is very simple. I know, very elongated for you, but for me, it's very simple. It's going to give you the desires that you've been running and chasing behind because you finally just stopped. Releasing your anger, distraction. So the King of Wands is also the energy of you feeling quite angry. Life has not given you what you've wanted easily. Why is it got to be so difficult for me? I think that a part of integration, again, your reading's primary keyword is probably integration. And body keeps score. Body keeps score. I think that destruction over here is talking about the integration of this part of you that feels left behind. And I think that a very major part of your healing journey is somewhere defined by the fact that looking down upon your survival phase, like feeling ashamed or looking down upon it, like, oh, I went through that, and being embarrassed. But I feel like that anger is coming from that version of you that feels left behind. Like, hey, you do remember that I was that person who strived through and got you through this phase of you thriving, from surviving to thriving. So it's kind of like integrating all parts of you that feel a bit forgotten, the parts of you that still hurt and the parts of you that still need love from you. I think overall it's just integrating this version of that maybe feels a bit angry at the universe for teaching you this hard earned lesson in some shape or form, that I didn't have to seek my worthiness from other people or you. And it could remind you of ways in which you received backhanded comments from people that you have to leave behind because that's what you thought was your ceiling limit in terms of worthiness. So there are quite a lot of things that you're integrating, and it's possible that you resonate with most of them that I've mentioned, especially the body. I feel like body shaming is something that's quite prominent. And I really want to say that it's not your body's fault. It's not working against you, it's working with you. So that's what I have for you, pile number 2. This was your reading. I'm going to leave it here. I really do hope that this was helpful. If it was, please do hit the like button, subscribe for more, hit the bell icons, whenever I upload next. Let me know down in the comment section how that resonated. Information for personal readings is given down below, and I am going to see you guys in another one. Bye-bye. Hello, pile number 3. If you chose the card of crossing, initiation, this will be your reading. So I'm feeling like something very big. I'm hearing Dark Night of the Soul. So we're going to talk about your rebirth and transition phase. So now when we're discussing about, 4 particulars, that's rebirth, transition, purge, and path ahead, right? So none of them will be completely categorized into what phase you're feeling like. Most of you, I feel like are sitting in the purge and path ahead, category. It doesn't have to be. You could find this, even for some of you, you're finding this before it actually happens for you. So this is strong Jupiter energy. This is the pile that has been working on big goals. Okay, this is Jupiter, because this is like expansion. This is about spiritual beliefs changing. This is maybe like big moves, personal growth, opportunities. You've learned a lot, luck. This is like I'm sitting and I'm waiting now, or I'm learning how to receive now. That's what I'm hearing. The card that you have shows a pathway into a portal that takes you somewhere else, not where you were going. And it seems like you had a vision for yourself in your head, right? And that is not coming true the way you wanted it to. And you're probably, having a bitch fit about it. Like, oh shit, what's gonna happen now? Like, where am I gonna go? Where's life gonna take me now, right? Yeah, see, dreams. And this is the energy that I'm picking up in reverse. Home and sexuality. This is about, it's again, I'm picking up an Aquarius. I've picked up an Aquarius in all three piles. I think this is about travel. I think it's about, if it's not just travel, it's definitely different timelines you're traveling to. It's like taking you to a future version that you had been manifesting for so long. It's possible that you're also getting a lot of psychic communication at this time. We have 3 and 4. This is progressional. It's like I'm almost getting the image of you were walking this path and suddenly you thought that everything is going in the right direction, and this portal opens up and it takes you to a past version, then the future version, and all the middle versions of you. It's like you're interacting with all versions of you. There's something like, almost too far fetched if I had to go to that level. It's like something in the future that you were about to do. Your future self comes back in the past and it's kind of like helping you navigate a specific situation. It's like this is quantum leaping and like interacting with different dimension versions of you in different dimension. And it could also indicate, perhaps, I just feel like your future version is over here with you right now. It's telling you what to do, because the path that you were taking is something that's going to take you completely somewhere else and perhaps away from what you really are and who you are. So you were walking towards something that was not even sufficient enough compared to what your potential really is. And it's like your future version had to come back and it's narrating this whole story, and it's like, bro, this is not going to be good for you. Like the path that you're walking is not going to be good for you. Like whatever you're trying to do, whoever's validation you're seeking, this person, this man, this woman that you're chasing, this dream that you're chasing, this life is not yours. And it's coming back in the present moment to tell you that, hey, I got to take you somewhere else. It's like making you look at past versions of you and the ways in which it keeps coming back to redirect you, to show you the dedication that it has towards you, to show you that you have a path. I'm hearing the word chosen one. It's like something about you feels misdirected or feels very lost. You almost have this feeling like, I just don't know when things will work out for me. It's like I'm constantly grinding, I'm working hard, but it just seems like a pit that never ends. It's like, you keep going inside and inside and inside, and it's like it's the representation of your subconscious mind. That's what I'm feeling. And you identifying with what you really are and what you really desire in your life, right? And it's like sexuality is not just about the plain simple meaning of sex. It's about creativity and dreams and you understanding who you really are, at the end of the day. And I think that there's something that is redefining your path. Like you were proceeding in a specific way, like it's not even like you have an A and B kind of two crossroads. It's like you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's so many, but your future self keeps coming back to tell you that, bro, the fifth one or the eighth one is going to work in your highest favor. It's like it keeps coming back and from the future, and it tries to tell you that this decision that you're taking, and these are like really, it's like you think that these are small decisions, but they're not. They're shaping your life, transformation in reverse. You are someone that has the ability to grow rapidly. Like when I say rapidly, I mean like you have a very strong pain threshold. You're also very intelligent, and I think it just talks about your elasticity. So you are not just a healer, you're a healer. Like you've done this multiple times in your life, in your in the type of the amount of incarnations you've taken birth on earth. It's You've done this thousands, hundreds of times, and you have absolutely no recollection of you know what you've been through and endured. And I'm seeing a lot of forest and earth, and you have lived many lives. Having said that, you have historic recollection or yearning for specific geographical points on earth, like specific cities really call you, specific cultures, specific songs, perhaps even celebrities from different centuries, or spokesperson, or music and things like that, or monuments, architecture. You have yearning for things and people, places, for things that you don't even remember that exist. It's like you look at your human evolution in a series of movies that right now, how do I explain this? Okay, I'm going to put it in the simplest words that I can. If you're able to grasp it, I'm very glad. um it's like this feeling where you're watching a movie and you just started it in the middle and you have no idea what you're doing. But the thing that I'm trying to explain is that your movie was from the beginning of your incarnation to the end of it, and a future version of you that may be communicating. I almost feel like crying because it feels very overwhelming to deliver this information. A future version of you might not be actually coming from this incarnation, it's actually coming as a future incarnation of your lineage. Perhaps the amount of generational work that you're doing, or the legacy that you're about to leave behind, this is the 10,000 energy, is not even ground footed in just what you're doing right now, but what you're going to be doing for a future version of you, which almost makes me feel like you have plans to reincarnate again. And I'm not sure if you're going to take that in the most, lighthearted or well received manner. I don't know, because I know that it sometimes feels like life on earth is very difficult and transformative. But it's like you're putting roots for a version of you that's going to come around in a different lifetime, and it's going to want to experience authenticity and love again. It seems like you're a very strong, and you're very dedicated to the purpose of generational healing. And as much as you're fixated upon it and coming back again and again and again, you seem like a very vital force of the ecosystem and the global consciousness. Because this isn't just something you're pushing through. This seems like your bread and butter. Pile number three. This seems like something that you live to do. That is why I feel like your pain threshold and the real alchemy within you exists. You purposely take birth in houses, homes, and lineages where there's deep rooted brokenness, unavailability, not good enough, addictions, patterns, things that seem very difficult for the ordinary, what's that word? Basic ordinary Joe or something like that. It's like you're different and you thrive off all of this. I feel guided to tell you that you can watch the other piles to know how different this message is, just in case you're underestimating your ability to heal. You have very strong soul tribe members, because the whole lot of you, and there's not a lot of you, that if it's possible that a lot of you, or it's possible that a few of you pick this pile, okay, but there's only like 8 or 5 of your soul tribe members, on the face of earth right now. It's not that it's possible that different people from, different souls of different soul tribes pick this pile. I feel that very strongly. But it's not that you're totally related with each other. So when we're not the right people, so to speak, or from the soul tribe, we don't get along with the same type of maybe awakened people. We can resonate, but we don't feel our true self, or we don't feel that understood. It's not that easy and effortless because they're not of exactly our soul tribe. So there's something over here that your soul tribe feels rare, and you may be someone that has dipped in your toes around the um, terminologies or concepts and dynamics such as twin flames, but what you're meant to experience as a romantic partner has a very big purpose over here, and that's why it's been difficult for you to find the right person. You've met a lot of karmics, and actually I'm hearing the word, I'm sorry to say that, soul sucking karmics, like people that are very vastly embedded in deep brokenness, addictions and patterns, and like have these nasty behavior traits to them. They're potentially quite narcissistic, and in fact I'm hearing have been narcissistic people in your life, and that's because of how much they've lost themselves in the vanity of life. I'm going to say that they just live and thrive off putting people down. And I think that because you come from such a level of experience, you really really did actually start from the bottom. You question yourself again and again, but internally you already know that you're walking the path. But in terms of you not knowing your value, your worth, and how vast your energy spreads, like it is genuinely, you're like a ball of light, infinite. You can't put a label on infinite source of energy, right? It's like perhaps even the sun or stars, like it's still we're able to put that in a box. But you are a part of collective consciousness, which is very very deeply connected to the god like consciousness, Christ, Krishna, whatever you like to call it, because we have the psychic development. And I think that it's possible for most of you, or a few of you, now this is a very optional message if you've been picking up on it, it's like connecting with that person that's meant to be with you. You're very close to that person. If you've been feeling that energy that I'm getting closer to them, and that they're close to me and things like that, I'm getting the timeline of 4 years. Now in human terms 4 years seems like a lot, but in light years that's absolutely like nothing. It's like even less than a blink of an eye, right? Compared to the path that you have moving forward, I feel like when you're gonna be loved in that manner, and this is a part of your initiation. Okay, so I don't know when you meet that person, but it's a strong Capricorn energy when both of you come together, which is something that the darker forces really don't want you to come together, because two people that come together, it's like one person manifests, it happens. Two people manifest, it happens way quicker. When two people work on that consciousness, it's like I feel like it's going to be very very quickly, and it's something very aligned with your purpose, because I think that once you start working with this person, the way you're going to be loved, the solar plexus, I see it brightening and it's opening up more. So, and I think it's often very much related with, if you're a woman or a man, I feel like it's very related with the Kundalini energy over here that I'm picking up, and something about it being almost like that sexual energy of pure love. It's not exactly sexual, but it's like that energy of pure love creates a shield around you where you really become your authentic self, that helps you do what you're supposed to do because it's at such a high vibrational frequency. So when you have the support of especially a lover, it's like masculine, feminine, yin and yang, the perfect sphere. That's why I'm seeing this sphere of a shield. It's somewhere that will help you push more into your purpose, because I feel like this was not even the preparation. This was just the cleaning out of the gunk phase of your life, most of it. And it seems like now that this process is somewhere finding a little bit of, I think your purpose being alone or doing the work alone is somewhere like becoming shorter. It's not over yet. but I feel like it's quite related with a person that you're going to meet in the future that's going to help you elevate your spirits and do your work even better, like what you're meant to do. And I think that's the time when it's possible that you're supposed to have kids and a legacy moving forward that is of high vibrational human beings and children, which is something that is quite rigorously broken before it takes place in the material realm, like it manifests. So before you meet this person, it's almost like the purpose was already existing. And it's not to say that I'm supporting the idea of twin flames or something like that. I don't even like think about it so much because I feel like it's a very conflicting, controversial topic and a dynamic. And unless you've been in one, which I don't think I have, I cannot really comment on it, right? So um I think that just meeting a divine counterpart of real potential, that both of you truly resonate, coming from both of your walks of life, is something that's going to merge you into more of a purpose. So I think this was not even just about what you've been going through, but somewhere a bit, highlighting over your solo journey and how it's about to merge with another person. I'm not sure when that happens, but this is just a message that's coming to make you aware that there is a person, the type of love that you've been yearning for, this type of love and the energy of this person's perhaps higher self that pushes you through, is also you making these decisions, pushing away jobs, places, people, places, things, family, relatives, siblings, potential boyfriend, girlfriends, friends, acquaintances. All of these people are being pushed away from you because there's like a laser focus on your purpose and what you're supposed to do. And if you're thinking about it at a very broad level, I'm just going to say it's a lot about healing the core frequency of earth. It's like that's the amount of power that you hold within in you. Imagine a person like that underestimating that they're supposed to settle in life when they can literally create whatever they want in the palm of their own hands just by imagination and thinking about it. This is like a very innovative energy. This is again Aquarius, philanthropic. These are the type of people that God puts in other people's lives so that they can literally create money so that they can help the poor, because it's the creator made their hearts. And this is like the type of purpose that really changes the face of earth. And you highly underestimate yourself because you just don't know if you'll ever reach that place. And you're such a strong mirror. That's also what I'm seeing. So a lot of people like to pick fights with you. A lot of people like to project their shit onto you. A lot of people just like to make you out to be the bad guy, and this and until like it takes them the way at the level at which you're evolving. And I cannot ignore, I'm picking up on fifth house, which is about romance and pleasure, and a lot of it is related with sexual energy. And perhaps it's possible that the darker forces, the devil has tried to taint your sexual energy as well, even with maybe trigger warning, sexual trauma and like physical disturbances in your life, just like making it really uncomfortable for you to tap into the potential of your sexual energy, perhaps even send like hookups and like temptations your way, thinking like, oh, you just settle, you're never going to reach that level that you've been aiming for. So there's a lot, because your sexual energy helps you manifest. And it's like a lot in your life has been thrown in your way to just stop you from reaching that way. And through struggle, like I'm seeing you literally being dead beat, and you're still like, hey, I made it over here. I'm dead beat, my clothes are ripped, I haven't had no water, I'm dehydrated, I'm dead inside. I've almost been at the verge of giving up, but something inside me, there's like a deep fire within you which is like, no, you cannot quit. You can just not quit. You cannot quit. And I feel like you are the type of people that are a lot prone to, spiritual warfare in whichever shape or form it comes. And even physically, it's like people really boycott you. You feel misunderstood. And I think that's still that, tenacity within you. Like you have this strength and structure and sense of purpose within you. Like no matter what happens, you're a bit obsessed with the purpose that you have, because it's like a streamlined focus, which something is not like visible, but it's just like you have a feeling like this is what I have to keep walking. I have to walk. I have to just keep doing. And it's like you don't even know exactly where you're going, but just the path, it keeps unfolding before you, because it's so related with a partnership. And that's not the end of it, because it's not going to take away from your own personal limelight. I think it's just going to be something that two people have worked hard upon, and then they finally share. But the strength at which I feel that both of you are going to pursue things in your life are not going to come from, a shared purpose, perhaps, or we can call it a shared purpose, but it's like I see it being two different things that you both want to work upon. You're not going to be some from the same walk of life, but have this similar experiences to share that mindset somewhere, So I think that you currently, even though this all information was very important, I'm pretty sure you have been purging a lot of analysis paralysis. It's like I see that it could pan out differently for every person. You know that you're supposed to grow. I feel very hot. um you know that you're supposed to grow. I just feel a bit of like resistance within me, which I can understand. With the intensity of this reading is very important to sage out. Do you guys please- So I feel like this, if I had to make it more soluble for myself, because I'm facing immediate resistance in kind of like sharing this information, I think that it is a lot about making things more clearer for you in terms of what you need to do, because I feel like it has been quite riddled with baseline trauma, like root chakra, like instability. Who am I going to fall upon if things go south? And like my trust in the universe, my faith, and then also these feelings that I think you've inherited these from your patriarchal side, also your matriarchal. And I feel like it's a lot about perhaps like analysis paralysis, not knowing how to take risk, poor money spending habits as well. um, I'm picking up on these small things like self-critical moments and like nail biting or tapping of foot. Like, you might think that these things are really small, like why is she like labeling these things out, but I think that they have a lot of spiritual significance, because they present a very deep rooted in anxiety, in instability, and like feelings of like, oh, who am I going to fall back upon? And I think that this uprooting, this upheaval of trauma that had to take place, of like feelings of not good enough, and like crazy amount of perhaps even functional depression, like feeling like I'm still doing my things but I feel very depressed in life. All of these are very generational symptoms of trauma that you're inheriting. So you're working on trauma that goes back like 100 and 150 years back, and your ancestors, and I really see your ancestors rooting for you, but it's like you feel disconnected with them when you're doing all of this work. However, I see that for most of you, and I know, and if this resonates with you, you're gonna grow into this version of you that's like, lay it on me, like I can handle this. Like your pain threshold is something, like I'm just gonna say it, that biologically body has ways of expressing stress, hair and nail biting, hair plucking, or like hair falls and whatnot. Like, biologically your body will show you the amount of stress that you're going through, right? There's a limit to which the body can take care of it. But the thing is, if somebody is not aware that this is the wrong way, or this is the limit at which you can actually operate, it's like if I tell you and I give you a ceiling limit, like 1 to 9 is the best amount of stress that you can handle. But if it exceeds to an 11 on a scale of 10, then you're going to die. But if somebody doesn't even know that the scale ends at 10 and they're operating at a level 12, it's like their brain is going to be convinced, because they've adapted to that amount of pressure. And for you, I think that's the case. Like, however cruel that might sound in a way, I don't mean to make it sound like that. It's just you can handle a lot of intensity. And this is not something where I'm saying that life just exists for you to constantly keep going through shit. And if you still think like that, then there's a bit of unveiling, and you really need to get to know yourself better to understand that that's not what you are just meant to do. In fact, the more you're going to figure this out, the more you're going to realize and take pride in who you really are and what your soul essence is. So just hold on before you jump the gun and you're like, oh, is this just, this is my life? No, I think you haven't really gotten, you need to do a get to know me, get to know yourself better. You need to really, really like sit with yourself and understand the amount of strength and elasticity that you carry at a spiritual level, because you're really, really underestimating yourself. Again, I mentioned that, this is your bread and butter. And I think that unveiling these levels of anxiety are quite, you're very gifted with emotional intelligence. And I think that the natural healing process is in paradox with the amount of stress that you can hold. Your physical body, I really want to tell, is so much designed and chosen. It's like before, everybody, they before they incarnate, they always pick the body that's going to support their purpose. So if you're a big built, or you definitely have like a little body, or bigger little body, or like your bone structure is very strong, and even if it doesn't seem like it, you have been given the DNA as well. Like, how they say you've not just been given DNA generational trauma, you've been given generational blessings as well. And you gotta see how strong your body is for being able to push through all of this. And on top of that, I feel like you, pile number three, you are exceptionally beautiful person. Like, it's not about just the facial features, but you're very blessed with the facial features and a lot of things that people really, really crave for. I think this video comes in more as something that you really need to listen to and absorb as the truth of your reality, not just the bad parts of what you perceive, because you really need to get to know yourself to understand like how magnificent you are at a spiritual level. Like, no matter, I mean, no matter of how much like validation I give you on that, you will not accept it till the time you really get to know your own nature of being. um I think that again, I'm bring brought back to the Sagittarius energy, Jupiter, like so independent, philosophical, like you're capable of processing so much amounts of energies, and the fact that there are versions of you and your higher self communicating with you from different realms of life and perhaps even existence just goes to say like how widespread your networking is in terms of, it's possible that you've roamed around just as a little ball of consciousness, but it's not actually little, right? It's like very intense. You go into the nothingness and then you bring out something out of it. It's like you are the real energy worker. It's like energy cannot be destroyed or, um damaged. It can be just transmuted, and that's what I'm really hearing from spirit. So I want to hear more about the blessings that are incoming, because I see that there's a lot of tools that are going to be coming your way. For a lot of you, it's probably about the next step might be learning some divination tool like Reiki healing or tarot for yourself, but it's something that helps you do more evolution in terms of energy. So this could also be like somatic healing, like your strong suits, picking up on some sort of background around with the earth. So I'm aware of the Native Americans, but if there's more, it's like you need more information, or you're going to gain more roots with where you belong from. This earth has been your playground. And I think that there's a lot more that you're going to unveil slowly by slowly about the legacy you've left. So it might be that there are certain remembrances, there's like a remembrance to certain characters or things or monuments or places that you were actually very closely linked with at a sentimental, emotional level, and that's why you feel so drawn to them. Trust those places, not just because you're going to find clues or something like that, but it's going to bring back remembrance. And I feel like when we remember something, magical things happen. They just remind us of who we have been, instead of like, it's not about you going back there so that you can get something. I think those places of belongingness, those places, revisiting those places are going to bring back a feeling of belongingness that's going to actually remind you who you are. So trust the timing of it, when you're going to visit those places, when you're going to go back to those places, that you're going to recall something about your own nature. This is about you, pile number three. This life is you literally are the main character of your life. And I think for a few of you, there's something in the future where you're going to help other people heal, or you're already doing that. Right now is the time for rest and rejuvenation for you. Right now is not the time for you to work too hard. I feel like you are still learning. For most of you, when you reach the age of 50s or 60s, you're going to actually realize your own full potential, and you might think that that's too late, but trust the process of your life. Don't be too itsy bitsy, "Oh, I need all the answers right now." No, it's a very elaborative point. It's a very elaborative journey, and you're just at a point in it. I told you, this is a movie. You're watching it from the middle. You're not seeing where it is, where it began. Definitely, I don't see your soul picking to choose it at any given time. You are genuinely very connected to the moon. That's what I'm hearing. Cancerian energy. It's because it gives you the energy, the source of inspiration. It's not just a little baby witch or a baby wizard. Like, I'm connecting with people that have incarnated re times, like you've incarnated way too many times on the face of earth. And what I'm doing is like providing minuscule amount of information than what the well inside of you contains. So, like, do more, get to know yourself, rituals and studies, and spend time with yourself and meditate more upon what you really need. Because this is, I feel like this is, again, when you question me, like, what is my path ahead, this is like the beginning of it. I feel like it's very related with one thing I'm going to keep saying. Is very related with a person that you're going to perform your purpose and come into it. So that's what I have for you, pile number three. I'm going to leave this reading here. I really hope that this was helpful. If it was, please do hit the like button, subscribe for more, hit the bell icon so you know whenever I upload next. Let me know down in the comment section how that resonated. Information for personal readings is given down below, and I'm going to see you guys in another one. Bye bye.